Hey everyone, how's it going? Part 4 of the stream is going to be the last part of the streams that I'm doing for this collab. Quite an interesting one today. It might be a bit longer because I definitely have a lot more to talk about this time. Mostly with everything in general, I kind of have to do my conclusion in this stream because this is going to be the final stream I'm going to be doing of this collab. So yeah, I might as well do that later. So this part 4, quite interesting to me, considering that obviously I got to do all of my polls this time and basically get everything that I want to in the stream. But first things first, got to talk about the new unit, Rena Lanford. She's pretty crazy. Now, I've got quite a lot to say, honestly, this time, so let's just see how this goes. But let's go to the gacha first. Like we always do, let's have a look at the new unit and the new arc. Now, I gotta say, this unit is just one of those units, you know, we rarely get units like this. This is a unit you're gonna want to get. You really need this unit, and this is the first time that I'm ever gonna say this, but you should definitely try to get this unit because you don't want to miss out on this unit because she's so good. But let's have a look at what she gives, just to remind myself and to see exactly what she does bring to the table, because I haven't properly looked at this unit. I've seen what she does bring, but I haven't properly tried her out or anything because I just saw from the video of what she's got and it just seems way too crazy. I haven't done any testing or anything, but you don't really need to test a unit like this, do you? We'll test her anyway, but let's see. Stats, pretty basic. I mean, what to say about it? Well, very high mind. That's very nice. Defense is okay. The stats overall don't really matter for this unit, mostly just the defense and mind, because she's just going to be a supportive unit. She's not going to be there for doing damage. She doesn't do any damage, basically, and she's just going to be a supportive unit. It may be boring to you, but supportive units in this game are very rare, and they don't come around very often, I mean. So this unit already has some value just by being a supportive unit. Attribute resistance is minus 15 to dark, plus 35 to light is pretty nice, plus 10 to ice could be okay, honestly, not too bad. Ailment resistances actually look amazing, honestly. Nil to illness means that she won't be inflicted by that most of the time, so that's great. Resistance to stun and curse, and nil to silence. Her ailment resistances are just pretty crazy in general, so I'm happy about that. Now we get into her abilities, which usually on a supportive unit they're not really a big deal, but as you know, Spirit Maiden Theria has some good supportive skills, and that does make her good because her skills can be useful as well as her magic and everything. So her skill 1 for Rena, not going to be anything special, you're not really going to be using it at all. Don't care about her skill 1, but her skill 2 and skill 3 are a bit different. Skill 2, give all allies and all absolute damage take a minus 25% buff. Pretty crazy for a skill. It kind of reminds me of Spirit Maiden's Theria skill 2 as well. They're kind of similar, but Spirit Maiden Theria's skill 2 is obviously better because of the, you know, cures ailments and stuff. And there's going to be a lot of talk between Rena and Spirit Maiden Theria, by the way, because pretty much everyone's going to compare those two units. And you're damn right, because Rena can compete against Spirit Maiden Theria, and this is the once in a lifetime opportunity, honestly, because Spirit Maiden Theria has been the top unit for like many years now, so maybe finally she'll be able to not be the top unit in the game anymore, but we'll see. Skill 3, all allies recover medium HP, kind of basic, but Spirit Maiden Theria does have the same skill 3 or similar, so that's fine. Now, Rena's special, when I read it, it does sound pretty crazy. Obviously it's going to be supportive special, but the buffs that it gives are just pretty crazy. I know Spirit Maiden Theria's special was decent too, but let's have a look. All allies get a HP cap plus 10,000 buff. That's pretty crazy already. giving plus 10,000 HP to everyone in your team just from using your special, that can definitely help for sure. And recover HP and get a defense plus 50% buff as well. Amazing. And absolute weakness damage taken minus 35% buff. Amazing. So anyone that's taking absolute weakness damage, they're going to be taking minus 35% damage from those hits. Pretty good. And also survive lethal damage once and slightly recover HP buff. So there's a lot to this special, and I do like it because it just adds a lot to the supportive unit, and it's just a massive buff in general. The one thing it doesn't really give is obviously everyone just taking less damage all the time, but that's in the rest of her kit. You don't need more of that on a special. A special adds more stuff on top, which is everyone gets more health, and they're going to have a lot more defense, take less absolute weakness damage, you know. Survive once and slightly recover HP buff sounds interesting to me too, but just to remember, just a reminder that this is only really going to be useful in PvE, because you're never going to be able to use a special in arena or anything like that, so just this will mostly be when you're against those really tough bosses. That's what you got to think about here. So I still think it's very good, because there are some bosses in this game which do ridiculous amount of damage, and you do kind of need these buffs. So this is amazing already. I do like these 3 skills. The special's pretty amazing. Now we go on to the most important part of this unit's kit, her traits. Now let's just press this button and have a look. So trait 1 is just amazing. It's crazy good. I'll tell you why. Regularly give all allies a damage taken minus 35% and a physical damage taken minus 35% buff. So I don't know how regular it is, but if it casts at the beginning of the battle, which it might, and then regularly keeps applying that buff again to all the allies, that's going to be amazing, because it's basically going to be a continuous buff active all the time, and that would be really good. And in total, this is giving minus 70% damage mitigation to physical attacks, and that's just crazy if you think about it, really, because this is just a trait, and this isn't even any part of her skills or anything. You just don't have to do anything. You just put her in the team, and everyone in the whole team is going to be taking 70% less physical damage, or you could say minus 35% less damage to every single attack ever, and then minus 35% for physical. But in arena, I'm a tiny bit worried right now, because yes, we do have a lot of high damage dealers in arena, but this trait can definitely help a lot with survivability, and maybe she'll be, you know, one of the best support units to create a full tank team. And I'm a bit worried about the full tank teams, because I find those really annoying, and if they keep surviving and we don't have enough damage to kill them, then what are you supposed to do, you know? It's just a bit worrying in that sense, but let's hope we still have enough damage to kill a tank plus a Rena, you know, in guild versus guild. That is what I'm worried about too, but amazing. Just that part of the trait already is enough, just enough, but there's more. When an enemy casts attack magic, chance to auto cast Magic Castle 2. This one's amazing too, just think about it. So when an enemy casts magic, there's a chance for this unit to cast Magic Castle 2 automatically, and that should apply to the whole team, because it doesn't say to only this unit, so I would assume it means the whole team. That is amazing too. It's just great, because Magic Castle 2, it's not 1, it's 2, which means minus 35% damage from magic attacks. That's a lot of taking less damage. That's a lot of numbers, and I'm surprised how good this trait is. I'm honest. This trait, probably one of the best traits in the game. It's so good, and just a supportive trait, it's crazy. I mean, this is a hype unit. Boss wave start / on boss waves when another ally is revived. Give all allies damage from bosses minus 20% buff. It's okay. I don't really care too much about that part of the trait because that's only really going to be applicable in boss stages. But thing got to think about that is, so on the start of a boss wave and on boss waves when an ally dies and they get revived, then it gives all allies less damage taken from bosses. So basically what it means is at the start of boss waves going to take 20% less damage on top of all of this damage, and the damage, this is too much. I mean, I can't get over the fact that this trait is so crazy, because just add all the numbers. I'm getting a bit too excited about this and worried at the same time because this is too strong, but you got 35%, another 35%, and then another 35% here, and 20%. It's just a lot, you know, and that doesn't even include the rest of her kits and skills and everything too, and she's a healer, so this is too strong. They didn't need to do this, but now what this makes me think is, what content are they possibly going to release that requires you to use this unit that's so strong? You know, obviously they probably have some ideas up their sleeves that's going to be like, oh, we give you this really strong supportive unit, now we have a reason to release even more difficult hard content in this game. That's just what I think. But let's have a look at trait 2. I don't think trait 2 is as good as trait 1, but honestly, they're both good. I'll tell you why. HP recovery from units' active skills plus 20%, so you're going to heal more. That's fine. HP recovery cap plus 3000. Very nice. When an ally is restored by magic and slash skills, give target a damage taken minus 35% buff. Buff is lost after the unit has been hit 5 times. Amazing. And also a shield buff. Durability is the same as Spirit Maiden Theria. So, if you can't already tell, this unit, I can't stress this enough. There's no doubt about it that she has to be the best support unit in the game, which means she is the best unit in the game. I can't say that enough because this is just ridiculous. Like, if I'm just reading all of these numbers, and the less damage you're taking, and this, just read this though, because if she just keeps casting healing magic against the whole team, then everyone that gets healed is going to get a buff to take minus 35% damage. Even though it's only 5 hits, that still helps, and if you're continuously healing, that helps, and that adds up even more. And you are also getting a shield buff, which is the reason why Spirit Maiden Theria is the best unit in the game, or was, until Rena came out. Because Spirit Maiden Theria, the shield, don't underestimate the shield. The shield gives you basically nullify flinch as long as the shield is up, and that's why it's so crazy, because you can't flinch when you've got that durability shield. So shields in this game incredibly broken. That's why Spirit Maiden Theria is still now the second best support in the game. But yeah, you can see it's a lot. And if you're just thinking in terms of PvP and arena and stuff like that, it's still a ridiculous amount you're getting. If you just focus on physical damage that you're taking in arena, you take minus 70% damage here, and then when you're healing everyone, then they get a buff of minus 35% damage as well, and then a shield and everything, you know. It's crazy, and I'm really shocked because it's so ridiculous. Let's have a look at the skills now, because it can't possibly get any stronger, can it? Well, I don't think so. I think her traits are the main part of this unit, but she's still got some good skills, obviously. So this is a new healing type skill. It's basically equivalent to God Heal, because I think it should be a time stop heal, basically the same as God Heal. That's what I think. I haven't tried it, but what it looks like is it looks like just equivalent to God Heal, basically. Starlight Heal. It would have been nice if she had Stardust Heal, because Stardust Heal is just better than Starlight Heal, because Stardust gives a time stop, is a time stop heal to the whole team. That's why that's so good, but I guess it's fine. I would probably put on Stardust heal if I'm using Rena in PvP scenario like Arena. I would definitely put on Stardust heal. That'd be great. Cure all, because a supportive unit's going to need this. The Spirit Maiden Theria has this. Arrays, useful, definitely. Condition cure, heal all basic stats elements and remove all strength, defense, intelligence, mind debuffs from an ally once per wave, excluding some debuffs. So, I think what this means is you can only use this once per wave, which kind of balances it, because you're healing all basic stats elements and removing all debuffs. So it's like a cure all and arrays, an improved arrays in one, but you can only use it once per wave. It's okay. I think that'd be good. High resurrection, just great. It's pretty good for a supportive unit. Spirit Maiden Theria has this too. I'm going to be saying Spirit Maiden Theria a lot today. I can already tell. I already have. I haven't been counting how many times. Thunder Wall 2 and Holy Wall 2. So if you remember, if you know, obviously you should. Spirit Maiden Theria has every single wall 2, apart from non-absolute wall 2. She's got non-absolute wall, but not the second one. But she's got every single wall magic, but Rena only has 2 of these. But it's fine, because she makes up for it with her ridiculous traits, so it doesn't matter at all. And you can always put on wall skills if you want, if you really need to. MP ups, now we get to the passive skills. MP up, a lot of MP. MP is just great for a supportive unit. I love to have as much MP as possible, especially if you're using them in a PvE, stage. And I'll tell you what I do with Spirit Maiden Theria. Rena's going to take the role of Spirit Maiden Theria for me, and what I have been doing, what I always have done, is use Glass Record on Spirit Maiden Theria and just continuously spam that for SCT and put on as much MP as possible. Rena's going to be able to do a similar job and probably even better, because since she has up-to-date stats and everything, and she's got Siphon Hearts and stuff like that, then she should have a lot higher MP and allow her to use the Glass Record type healing magics even more. So that would be fun. That would be great. Magic defense, esoteric up 3 and 4, great. Look at these stats. Look, you get 10% intelligence, mind, MP, 12% more MP. It's great. Auto Matisse helps. Auto Advance Circle, yeah. Recast heal, love it. Holy Enhance, sure. Cover MP, Spirit Breath, SCT is gonna help when healing. Megalon shields, so she does have a little bit of survivability. It's okay. Movable object, high level magic chant. Hey, today's gonna be an interesting stream, I just tell you that. This is a crazy unit. I only just started the stream recently, so we've got a lot to go over today. Beast Repellent, definitely useful. Closing Mega Boost, sure, why not? Less physical damage taken. I think she's definitely going to be able to tank. Yeah, for sure, she'll be able to tank better than Spirit Maiden Theria and support the whole team better as well. Special Shield 2, Determination, Focused Will. Sure, why not? Concentration, less faint time, Spirit Force. When physically attacked, chance to boost units' defense by 100% and deal that and take damage. Awesome. We saw that on Claude. Basically the same thing. And I do like that Rena should have decent defense, because, as you know, Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't really have any defense. She mostly has high mind, and that's it. So this is a nice change. Now we get on to a bunch more interesting skills. Symbolic Magic, HP recovery 20% and HP cap. So this is only going to apply to this, I believe, and that's it. Which is fine. She's probably going to be using this most of the time. It's basically equivalent to God Heal, so basically giving that magic more HP recovery and cap, which is good. Battle start, and when revived, give all allies a critical damage taken minus 10% buff. So this makes it even better. So just by her being in the team, everyone is going to take less critical damage. Very nice. I like this too. This is even better. Supporter's mindset. Yeah, sure. Support / healing magic, casting speed plus 20%. Definitely need the casting speed. Support / healing magic with effects on all allies uses 10% less MP. Great. I can't really say too much about this. Like, more HP recovery, more cap from healing, awesome. Less physical damage, less magic damage, less damage taken, less buff, more buff duration. So, if you can't already tell, this unit is ridiculously strong. And, I mean, it's an interesting kit because we don't get units like this very often. 99% of the time, the units that we get have some form of damage skills, or at least something for damage, but this unit is one of those units that doesn't have any damage skills at all. 0. You can argue that she probably does have some, but no, you're dumb. Supportive unit, ridiculous. I don't know what else to say, other than this is just a kit aimed towards the best support in the game, so I'm gonna leave it there. Are you ready? It's pretty good. I don't know what else to say because she's so ridiculous. You can probably tell by now that you don't want to miss this unit. Let's talk about her a bit more later. Let's go over the arc next, because honestly, I haven't looked at this arc, and I'm assuming most people probably haven't, because you're just thinking about Rena and how good she is. Everyone's focusing on Rena right now because she's the new best unit, definitely. So most people probably haven't looked at this, and I'll be honest, I looked at this arc a little bit, but I'm not too excited about it, so I haven't really looked too much into it. I just looked at Rena as well. So just from looking at this trait does have a lot to it. There's a lot of words, but it's fine. It's not that complicated. It just looks like it is. So, battle start if mind at least equals intelligence. So, yeah, HP recovery from units active skills plus 20% and HP recovery cap 1000. This basically means if mind is the same as intelligence or higher, then you're going to get more healing. That's basically what it means. If mind is less than intelligence, then 10% more magic damage, and when hitting an absolute weakness with magic attack, then 15% more damage to magic. So basically, you could have more healing if you have higher mind, or some magic damage if you have higher intelligence. Just fine, I guess. Cut damage taken based on physical attack distance, maximum of minus 20%. Pretty decent, not bad. And battle start, auto cast aura, and Matisse effects last until unit is incapacitated. The trait itself, I think it's okay. It's just not the best. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I can't really say much more than that, other than you could use it. It's just not the best thing, you know. I mean, if I just think about it, if I were to use this on Rena, would this be the best option? Well, it's giving her more, 20% more healing and 1000 cap of her healing, so she'll be able to heal more in total, and she's also going to be taking less physical damage based on the distance, and also gets aura, which doesn't matter because she doesn't need intelligence, and Matisse, which doesn't matter because she doesn't need Matisse because she already has it. So just looking at it for Rena, it's not that great, honestly. So I guess it's not really a big deal, but where I can see this being useful is if any unit doesn't have aura or Matisse already, so you can put this on them and give them aura and Matisse, and also some of these other buffs depending on who it is. It's probably going to be a mage that you're using it on, but Nothing crazy, honestly. Learnable skills, eh. Step 1, Rena's incredibly lucky. I'm hoping I get her today. We will be. There are going to be a lot more summers today. I'll tell you that, depending on the luck. We'll see. Silence Resist, Holy Chance, Backfire 2. I think Backfire 2 could be good on Amelia, honestly. And it's only for SC, so I think that would be great. But if you don't have Amelia, which most people won't, then Backfire won't be that great. So that's all that skill's really for, is just Amelia, not really anyone else. Healing High Boost, I'm pretty sure we've seen it on other arcs somewhere. Fast Grand Aura could actually be decent. 7 SC, get Fast Grand Aura. If you need it, then maybe, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't on most units, it depends. If a unit is missing Aura, and they do benefit from Aura quite a lot, then this may be useful, for sure. And then we got the unique skill, Symbol of Divinity, continuously cut MP, but special damage taken minus 30%. Interesting. Damage cut effect won't activate when remaining MP is less than 1%. So, it's kind of like the, one of the shield things that we got from SSR arc, that you take damage and it removes 3 MP from you, or 3%, but you take 50% less damage. It kind of reminds me of that, but instead of that, it continuously cuts MP, so it's not per hit you take, it's just continually cutting MP, so it can always removes MP, but you take less special damage. I don't see this being that useful. I only see this being useful against bosses, because obviously nobody uses specials in PvP because you just can't, you really can't, so this is only going to be useful against bosses. So yes, this could be good against bosses that do very high special damage, but that's the only case that I could see this being good. That's about it. Cat's being loud again. Why does he have to join me on these? So, Arcade for Reward, I think this is actually pretty good. Stats are not really anything too impressive, but the trait, Battlestar Autocast High Magic Barrier, that's very good. And Mind plus 7%. The trait itself, trait's actually really good, and it's an accessory, so I think this accessory is pretty good. Autocast High Magic Barrier may be useful on someone that wants to tank magic better, or you could put this on anyone, like any physical tank that you want them to tank magic a bit better, something like that. This could be useful for them, so I can see this accessory being pretty good, honestly. I think it's a good accessory, so from looking at this arc, I think it's okay. I definitely think the Arcade Reward is a better one. It's a decent Arcade Rewards. The learnable skills, I don't care too much about, honestly. They are okay, but I don't see myself using these that much because they're kind of, you know, specific, and you wouldn't really use these that much. Backfire 2 on Amelia in Arena could be very good, but that's kind of the only thing I can think of right now. And yeah, the trait's just okay. I just don't think this arc is that impressive to me. I think it's okay, but that's kind of it. Arcade Reward's probably the main thing that you'll be interested on this arc if you want this, and that's kind of it. So this banner is just Rena's banner, that's kind of it. Rena's the main star of this banner, and the main reason why you want to pull on this banner, and you do. Telling you now, you do want to pull on this banner, because this unit, ridiculous unit, definitely want to get this unit. I'm going to be saying that a lot just to make sure, but, you know. So that's Rena and the Arc, pretty good. I will be talking more about all these banners a bit later. Let's go over to the trading space and look at Rena's paid equipment, because I haven't done that yet. I don't know what her paid equipment is yet. Cat's so loud. So, Collab credentials, she's got a robe and an accessory, it looks like clothes. Okay, so cloth, Let's see, MP, defense, mind, okay stats. What I'm hoping for from these is taking less damage and more healing. Something like that. Draws less enemy attention. That, you know what, I'm happy with that too. That's something else that I could have too. Damage taken minus 10%. Great. MP plus 10%. I swear this cat's doing this on purpose. Battlestar, add 10% of defense to mind and give a revive effect to the unit. That's amazing, and it gives plus 10 to dark resistance as well. So, you're so loud. This cloth, these clothes, really good. Just think of what it gives. Draw less enemy attention is definitely going to help against the auto battles and arena. Going to help quite a lot. Taking less damage, just all damage, amazing. 10% less damage from everything. The MP is going to be amazing too, and since she's going to be a supportive unit, all she really needs is, she doesn't need damage or anything, she just needs more supportive things. So the MP helps, and it could allow her to have ridiculous high MP to use even more glass record magic skills, you know, for more SET and stuff. And giving 10% of defense to mind, pretty great, but I wish it was the other way around. If it gave 10% of mind to defense, that would have been even better, in my opinion. And giving a revive effect to the unit at the start of the battle are very good too, because revive effects are very useful to have, and they don't come around very often. Very useful for PvP, but you don't need this. It's not something you need, it's just something that will make your arena better. And yes, you could make the best unit in the game even better if you want, but it's up to you if you want to do that, because you don't need to. It's not something you need, but if you've got the credentials, you could get this if you want. But maybe the accessory is going to be any better, I don't know. Let's have a look at the accessory. I think it's good, I don't know. 55 MP, 19 mind. The MP's good. I like having MP on accessories, so that's great. So, recovery, magic, casting speed plus 10%. More casting speed. Pretty sure that casting speed is going to come in handy quite a bit. Honestly, I do see myself. I have used casting speed accessory on Spirit Maiden Theria because her casting speed isn't that fast, so having this accessory on Rena is definitely going to help her casting speed quite a bit. HP recovery cap, HP recovery from active skills plus 15%, and HP recovery cap plus 2,500. So, this basically is aimed towards making her a better healer. So, this accessory makes her a better healer, and these clothes makes her just overall more tanky, and just more tanky and better survivability. So, it depends on what you want. Which one would I recommend would depend on what you want to use her in, I guess. If you don't care about arena too much, then you should probably get this accessory over the clothes. That's what I'd recommend. But I think that these clothes are going to be more useful to you if you want to use her in PvP or arena, guild versus guild. If you want to use her in those PvP contents, then this will be more useful for sure. But I still think this accessory is going to be a good option too, so it's up to you because they're both very good. I say it depends on what your account has, because if you don't have many good clothes available, then you could just get this one, and this will be great as well. And this accessory just going to help for more healing. It depends. If you want her to be an even better healer, you can get this. If you want to use her for spamming glass record or keen eye, then this will be the better option for sure. I see myself getting both of these 100%. Reason being is Rena is one of the best units in the game now, and since she's going to be a strong unit for many years to come, I want to get these two things just to make her even better, because this collab may not come back in the future. So if you miss out on these accessories, these paid equipments, then you may not be able to get them in the future, and you might realize that you want to have them because this unit is good long term, and you may realize that later. So it's better to realize it sooner. If you're free to play, then obviously don't worry about them because the unit is amazing by herself. She doesn't need her paid equipments to be better, well, to be good. She's already amazing and one of the best units without them. But if you do like getting paid equipments, you could get both. I would probably recommend the accessory, honestly. I think that would be the better option, if I think about it. But they're both very good. If you were to choose one, choose whatever one. If you're like spender, maybe you can get both, but I'm not going to decide for you. Just think more about them, I guess. They're both strong. I would probably get the accessory first, that's just me, but I'm going to get both anyways. So that's that. That's the paid equipments. Actually pretty good, honestly. Her paid equipments and her kit just going to make her so ridiculously strong, and it's not something I can really showcase properly, because how do you properly showcase a supportive unit? Well, you go into hard content, you basically allow the units to tank more damage, but I don't know, I'm just going to have to say that she's going to be good. So, that's basically all the talk about the unit and the arc. There are still a lot more things I want to do today, like having a look at the event again, because that's had a few good updates to it. There's a kind of mini maze event time trial thing, which is interesting. I did that bit today. That's pretty good. I'm going to be doing that a bit more. One thing I want to do first is go to this trading space because I need to get these tickets, which we'll be using very soon. And this prism as well. Might as well get the sticker. Rest of the stuff I'll be getting later. I like getting as many God Relic prisms as possible. I was considering getting Rena to plus 30, but I probably won't. It depends. So, I have a lot of medals, and we will be using these today. And hopefully, if we get lucky enough, we'll be able to get everything. But we probably won't. Best case scenario, we get Rena and the new arc in 65 summons, and then we have 400 medals to get the last 2 arcs that we need. That's going to be the plan. So, might as well do the summons now, not delay any longer. Do the summons now, and then, actually, the bunny challenge gives more tickets because they did add these. I don't have the 9th bunny yet. I didn't see that. I could have a look now quickly. Might as well have a look. I don't know if I have the bunny available yet. Why do you close on me? You don't want me to get that bunny, do you? I only saw one bunny. The other bunnies required you to basically do all the tour stages and everything. I did farm the event a bit, but not too much, honestly. I do have a lot of points. I haven't collected the mission rewards yet, but there are a lot of rewards in there. So far, this collab has been pretty good, honestly. Been pretty fun, pretty easy to farm as well. Let me go to the event. I want to see if I can find a bunny somewhere. I don't think it's unlocked for me yet. I may have to do more things to unlock it, but this one ticket could give me Rena. You never know. Well, I know it won't, but I have to try. Hopefully, this is the one time that I'm hoping we get lucky with Rena and the Arc, because if we get them both early, then that would be the best case scenario. And then we won't have to pity anything. So, bunnies just jump around. I don't think it's in this map. I don't think so. It's very obvious. I'm just looking for bunny number 9, but I don't think I have it unlocked yet. It may be in this dimension, by the way. So this dimension should have unlocked it if you've done most of the event. I did get the 10-ball ticket from this part 4. Oh, come on. Emulator doesn't do very well. with this. So what I was saying, if you do the event stages in this new update, then you do get another 10 pull ticket for part 4. So that's very nice. This is the last 10 pull ticket that we're going to be given. So if you can get Rena from a ticket, that's the best case scenario, because she's the best unit from this collab. So you definitely don't want to miss out on her. And it does kind of suck that Rena is a collab unit and Spirit Maiden Theria is a DOH unit. So she's more accessible to people than Rena. That's why it's so important to get Rena. I just want to check if the bunny's in the dimension. In a different dimension. I don't think so. I thought I would have seen it, but I have to see. And then we'll do our tickets and then crystals to get Rena and the Ark as soon as possible, hopefully. Hopefully we can get Rena and the Ark. That'd be great. And then the medals can be used on everything else. Don't crash the game again. What I'm doing is trying to open this. It shouldn't, right? If it does, then I'm not going to bother doing it again, yeah. Okay, we're going to ignore that. I'm going to do that later. I don't know where the last bunny is, but it's just one ticket. If that one ticket gives me a dupe of something, I'll be incredibly mad, but let's just assume that one ticket's not going to give us anything. So I'm not going to worry about it. Let's do our summons now. I have quite a few tickets, I think like 16. We still haven't caught anything from a ticket yet. Nothing. At all. This takes too long. This is why I prefer the Steam version. I can only use my paid crystals on the emulator though. So let's first do tickets. We're going to be doing that, which is going to be all the way over here. There's a lot of banners on right now. Let's do these first. So my plan for this, obviously use tickets first, and then do step gacha until I get enough credentials for both of Rena's paid equipments. And then if we still don't have Rena, then I guess we'll have to keep going. This one's going to be a skip. There's nothing in here, as I could tell. Hopefully this temple ticket can at least give something. I'm hoping, but I don't know. Come on. Temple ticket. I've not gotten anything new from these tickets so far. It's probably going to stay that way. That's my guess. Definitely. But maybe the crystals will be more lucky. The rear. I think the sound's gone. Where did the sound go? I'm going to have to close this and open it again. If we get anything now, it's going to be a disappointment because the sound's disappeared. So, yeah, nothing. Where's the sound? I'm going to have to close the game and open it again, I think. Yeah, it's not even loading. This is terrible. Can't go without sound. Tickets are terrible. Going to be doing the step gacha. Sounds very silent. I want a sound back. Give me a sound. Maybe. I've still yet to get anything good at all from tickets, and it's going to stay that way for a long time, I guess. Okay. Let's go to step gacha once this loads. Let's see what happens. If we get Rena, then I don't know if I want to continue for the arc. That's something I'm still thinking about. Because I don't know if getting this part 4 arc really matters to me too much. If we were to get Rena, not the arc, in these pools, I don't know. I'll have to think really hard about it. And maybe save my medals. This one's a skip as well, unless it's a gold, it's a blue, so I skip and press the button, there's no reds in here, there's 2 blues. Wow. We just need the credentials and Rena. That's all we need today. If we can get Rena in 70 pulls or 60 pulls, it's the best thing. Well, 60 ideally. Because then we'll have 400 medals. We haven't gotten a red today yet. It's a blue. I don't like seeing a blue. I hate seeing a blue. Still no reds today. 2 animations is, I don't know, not enough. Yeah. Even if there were 3, I wouldn't have hope because there was only 3 summons there, so... Can we get Rena in step 3 of lap 1? Probably not. Why haven't we gotten a red? We've got 0 reds today. That's terrible. We need to get... There's Theria. Another damn blue, or whatever. I'll watch it anyway, but I'm not happy about this. No, I'm not watching it. It's only 6 pulls. Whatever. Still got more to do. Now I would like... Now it gets into the more expensive summons, so this is the point where I would like to get Rena, like, now. Right now. Because I don't want to have to spend 30,000 paid crystals just to pity the units, but... I might... Or there might be a better way. Instead of blue, damn it. I'm gonna watch it, but there's no reds. Guaranteed of gold. It's not going up. There's 1 or 2 animations I'm just gonna skip anyway. There's 3, but there's still gonna be no red in here, I think. There's a red. Can you at least give something new? No, you won't. It's only 1. Obviously. You get many dupes. This game doesn't really have good rate up in my opinion. Other games have higher rate up than this game. 0.8%. Just not a lot, is it? No. 0.8%. 0.8%. I mean, 1.6% isn't too bad for something rate up, but 0.8% for the unit is just terrible. Like other games have like 1.5%, something reasonable. Zekas, don't be a blue. It's a gold. Well, gold looks better than a blue, but it doesn't mean anything unless it turns to a red. Which it won't. It will. No extra animation. There's probably only going to be 1. Damn it. Why is it in the same spot? It's going to be another arc. Well, it is an arc, but it's the limited arc. That's good. That's great. But it wasn't Rena, so we'll have to keep going, because Rena's the star of this banner and this whole collab. But I am glad that we did get that arc. That's good. Now I don't have to worry about that arc at all, and we can just move on from that. So, I'm going to check how many medals we have after this, because I don't want to do too many. The plan is to get to 50 medals, credentials, another gold, but Zeka's by himself. We don't have any hope for this one. Get 50 credentials, paid credentials, and then... Oh, that's terrible. Then no more paid crystals from then on. I think the rest would be free crystals, because my plan, I've got a very good plan. I'll tell you what that plan is right now. If I go to the trading space real quick. So, trading space. I'm just trying to think though, because I'm still missing 2 arcs. So if I were to pity Rena, and an arc, I would still be missing 1 of these arcs. That's the thing. Sad. So we have 41. Okay. Do 1 more 10 pull here, and then we'll do 3 crystals. And this is, if we get Rena in this 10 pull, that will be probably the best thing that can happen. Theria. Gold. Usually this is a good sign, but not always. Sometimes it's not. And this time is 1, 2, has to be a red. There's no way there's not. If there wasn't a red, I'll be incredibly surprised. Be a unit that's new and be Rena. There's only one, so I don't think it's gonna be. No. It was a unit. The only good thing about the summon is it was a unit. But it doesn't matter because it's not a rate up unit, is it? So now we've got the credentials we need for both her paids. Now, all we need is just to get Rena. And I do have quite a few free crystals because I've been saving these. And as you know, you can get quite a few free crystals from the login events that they've been doing. So, that's good. Let's get Rena in the next 2 10 pulls, ideally. Please. I just want Rena now, that's it. I don't want anything else. At all. Only Rena. Theria. It's a gold again. Is there going to be a red or is it going to be a troll summon? Because the troll summon is, it looks good, but then the animations just disappear and then it stays gold. 1, 2 should be enough, right? 3 should be even more than enough for red. Don't be an arc. It's a unit, okay. But it doesn't mean anything though. So I'm still not excited about anything because dupe. There's one. Dupe. Yeah, why are there many dupes in this game? Just need to get Rena. Why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult? Theria. Can you get a red right there? It still looks better. We haven't gotten a 10 pull with more than one red yet. Would this be it? No. Has to be a red in here. There's a guaranteed red in here. Yep, a red. There's no way there's not. 4. Rena. That's Rena. Yes. That was a good pull. Could we get some Rena dupes? You know what would be hilarious if we got 4 Renas? Nah, that's like a lottery ticket. I'm Rena Lanford. I'll try my absolute best to work with all of you. Amazing. This is great. Let's finish off, see what we get. Nothing. As expected. We are done. No more summons needed for me. That's great. 3 crystals is the way. Very good. Now I can save the rest that I've got, which is going to be pretty okay, but I'm going to need more paid crystals. 3 crystals are looking pretty good. Let's go to training space now. Here's what I'm going to be doing. Let's get her paid equipments first, both of these. That's important. Here we go. I would like her prisms, but I don't want to spend paid crystals for them. So, Collab Metal Trading Space, we are at 406, which is actually almost perfect. I'll tell you why. We have everything from this apart from 2 arcs, and 2 arcs cost 400. So we can get these now. This is the arc that I was most excited for, so I'm most happy about this one. Because of resist damage, gonna be very useful in PvP. And then the final one here. Make sure you don't trade for the wrong one by accident, that would be terrible. There's the final one. Now we've got everything. Great. My plan worked. That is what is called being smart. You don't waste all your crystals trying to get everything on day 1. You take your time, and you do what I did here. Great. Perfect. Now we don't need to do any more summers in this whole collab event, so that's good. Let's have a look at Rena properly. Let's go to here. So Rena is right here. Amazing unit. Instantly on my homepage. Wow. So I am strongly considering using God Relic Prisms on this unit. And I could do this, get her to plus 30 right now, which I may do, but not yet, because the event should give at least 3 of her prisms, and then I can get more God Relic Prisms from the event too. She's definitely a unit worth getting to plus 30, but is it even going to benefit her? I don't know yet. Let's start building Rena, but we won't be able to showcase her very much, but still, we will try to see what she can do. There we go. I'm level 53 now, by the way. I got that a few days ago, I think. We'll get her 5th enhance. This is a unit I'm definitely going to be maxing out. What can I do now? I use my healing powers to help everyone. Yes, you will. You're going to help literally everyone in this whole game, because you're so broken. Why did you have to be so strong? Why are you so ridiculously strong? I need more souls. Let's learn her skills in here first. What's her ward? Clothes equipped, physical damage taken minus 1%. Okay, that's fine. I do have enough materials for her 6th enhance and everything too, and all of her skills, but I would need to get her to level 110, but I'm not going to worry about that today, because I don't really need to get her to 6th enhance to really showcase the supportive unit, do I? That would be difficult to show a supportive unit off, but let's get everything here and I'll move over to recommended equipment, because it may be more difficult to come up with what equipment you would want to use on a supportive unit, because since you don't need damage on this unit, what should you be focusing on? Well, let's have a look. That's everything here. Yep. Looking good. Looking great. Let's go to equipments. So she can equip a claw. Weird. And a staff. So, supportive units usually equip a staff. And she's a sorcerer. Like, Spirit Maiden Theria uses a staff most of the time, because staffs, there are a few supportive options. Now, there's going to be one that I'm going to show you, which some people may not have. And it's this one, because I really like this staff for a supportive unit. Even though it's from the Council of 10 UR arcs. So if you don't have that UR, you won't have this. So it's not really a free-to-play option, but if you do have this, this is going to be an amazing option and probably what I'm going to be using. But if you don't, then it becomes more difficult, because there isn't really anything good here. I mean, there is one, like, there is a Godforge healing staff. I think it combines with this, which you could use, but I don't have it yet, because I've never seen a reason to use it. So, you could go to Godforge and Godforge healing staff, and could use that if you want. Potentially, you could do that. But, here's an alternative. What you could do, yeah, this one's okay. What you could do instead is not worry about the trait, and just look at the stats, and go for a staff or something with high MP, and just do that, because maybe that's all you need, just more MP. That's got 50, anything higher than 50, I think that's the highest. Yeah, so you could just do that. This one's okay. It's kind of difficult because there's not really an ideal staff. All she needs as a supportive unit is MP and taking less damage, and this Flag of Honor, if you've got this, yes, this will be the best option, because it gives everyone that is a supportive staff, so that's the best option. But if you don't have it, There are other healing staff options if you need more healing. You could do that if you've got any of those. I'll probably have a look at Godforge in a moment, just to check. And now on to armor. So as you know, her paid clothes are going to be the best option. Let me just have a look at it first. So her paid clothes are going to be right around there. And just to check, she does have clothes and mega boost, so ideally you want to have clothes equipped. Otherwise you'll be naked. Well, no, because you could put on a robe instead of clothes, but since she has clothes and mega boost, you're better off using clothes because you want to benefit from that skill. So if you don't have a paid clothes, it does also become more difficult, but just look at which clothes you've got, if there's anything that can help a supportive unit. There are a couple, I think. This is okay if you've got this, because it does give a revive, which can be useful in PvP, but that's about it. It's from a collab though, so you may not have it. This one's an interesting one. It could work, maybe. Anything that increases healing could help. That's a maybe, but I probably wouldn't. This one, you could use this. I would consider this, honestly. Yeah, this one's okay. I should probably favorite that. I think this one is one you should consider using. It gives MP. It's an okay robe. Well, it says robe, but I think it's actually clothes, isn't it? Yeah. That's a mixed signal, isn't it? Let me just... It's a rogue tail cloth, right? It's clothes. Damage taken from bosses, yeah, things like this. Like this, even though it gives physical damage and stuff that she doesn't need, it does allow her to take less physical damage, so it's not terrible. It's just, you may want to use this on a physical DPS unit in your team instead, because it's better off on those units. And I don't think there are really any other good clothes. I think anything that has high MP, again, you could use if you need MP. And I can't really think of anything else that I can see. Yeah, there isn't really that many other good options, is there? And you don't want to be more likely to be targeted, so anything like that's going to be bad. So accessories, obviously a paid accessory, yeah, but if you don't have that, then there are still a lot of options. Since if you don't have a paid accessory, then Radmoon Stone is a good alternative, but the problem with this is it gives her minus 20 to dark resistance, so that may be a problem if you're up against anyone using dark attackers, like in PvP. If anyone's using a dark attacking unit, then it may not be a good idea to use this. But you may need the casting speed, because if using Stardust Heal does require more casting speed to instantly cast it, so you may want to have this instead. And any other options, obviously anything to take less damage is going to be good, and anything that gives MP is going to be good as well, and that's kind of it. And anything like this for a revive is going to be useful, but if you have her paid clothes, then don't use this, because her paid clothes already gives a revive effect, so you're not going to need this. Instead, you would rather use a different revive accessory to stack with her paid clothes if you got it. Anything else, more HP is okay, basically just anything to allow her to tank more damage, more health, more MP. That's kind of what you're looking for. Anything that you would put on a tank unit, you could use on Rena to allow her to tank more damage, or anything for MP. This accessory is actually pretty good. It gives MP and health, and the trait's okay, and it gives absolute resistances. It's pretty solid. I may consider using that. Anything else? Revive accessories, taking less damage. That's kind of all I can really think about. This one's pretty good. Pretty amazing. This one, if you really want to, that could be okay. more MP. This one's from a collab though, but if you got it, this can increase her MP by quite a lot. And I think that's kind of it that I can think of, at least from the favourite ones that I've got. I don't want to go through every single accessory that I've got, but basically what we need to know is, since she's a supportive unit, she doesn't need damage, so all you're really looking for is high MP and take less damage, and that's kind of it. Or anything for a supportive accessory or anything's going to help with her. So what would I use on her for an accessory is what I'm trying to think right now. Well, there is actually a accessory I have on Theria right now, and I don't think I've favorited it, so I don't think it's going to show up here. Yeah, it's not going to, but I do want to find it, so I'm going to have to go through these just to see if I can find it. But it is a pretty good option, but you're probably not going to have it. Where is it? I have so many accessories. There are a lot of accessories in this game now. Some of these could be useful. Chance to auto guard. Guarding, you could put on guard skills on her if you really want to. Maybe. That's okay. Still looking at that one. You could put on, but it's only for 10 seconds. Supportive accessory, potentially. There are a few accessories for healing magic, but it isn't really a big deal. Don't really need it, because there are better options than that. Yeah, this one. So, when casting magic, chance to recover MP used. This applies to healing magic. So, reason why this is so good is if you use Glass Record or any healing magic for SET, then this will come in handy quite a lot. So for that reason, I'm going to favourite that. And I'm probably going to use it on her because I have been using it on Spirit Maiden Theria. But Rena is going to replace my Spirit Maiden Theria in most scenarios. So I'm going to put it on for now. For PvE, I'm going to use it for PvE, but PvP in Arena, you probably wouldn't want it. You would probably want something else. I think I've already passed it. Yeah, for Arena you would definitely want some more MP, but ideally for Arena, taking less damage and revives are more important. So I'd probably recommend those if you're using her in Arena. I definitely want to try her out in Arena. Yeah, this one. I'm going to be using this for now. That's okay. MP is looking okay. Stats, whatever. This isn't going to be a DPS unit, she's a support unit. So it's kind of difficult to test out this unit and showcase her, but let's awaken her a few times with these souls. Gonna be great. So what's my plan next? Well, what I do want to do is go into the unit test play quest stage and try her out, but I don't know how that's going to work because she can't really do damage, so how's she going to kill the enemy? It's a question that I've got. No idea. I'm going to switch over to Steam right now. Open Steam, gonna be way faster. And then we'll try out Rena, but Rena showcase is not going to be very long, it's not going to be a lot. But I at least want to show you and talk about her a bit more while using her, and why I think she's going to be so good. I did try her normal attacks earlier, because I wanted to make sure that they were long range, non-line of sight normal attacks, and they are. So that's great. Let's go in here. So let's just start off with the standard battle. Actually no, let's do this, because then we can actually test her properly. Base skills. Yeah, there you go. This one is probably the one I was talking about. Recovery magic power and chance for recovery magic to deal crits. criticals. This is a good option, so I think as a God Forge staff you may want to get this if you really want to. I might consider it, but I don't know, I don't think it's needed. Let's just have a look in here. This will be a bit weird because she can't do damage really, so how's she going to kill the enemy? I don't know. I hope the enemy doesn't have that much health. I want to test out her skills and what they look like and her animations and everything, so let's see. So, obviously her skill 1, let's use her normal attacks first. So she can go anywhere and her normal attack's just going to be a normal attack, you know, it's kind of basic. It's whatever. It's a good normal attack because it keeps her long range, it's useful. Skill 1, not really going to use it. I mean, it's good. It's a good skill if she was a physical DPS, but she's not, so don't care about her skill 1. Skill 2, yeah, it just gives everyone a buff, right? If I look at her current buffs, boost casting speed, cut boss damage taken, cut critical damage taken, auto revive, cut damage taken, cut physical damage taken, cut all attribute damage taken. It's a lot of buffs. So the cut damage taken and physical damage taken is from her trait 1, by the way. Yeah, her trait 1 is the minus 35% damage taken, and physical damage taken is from trait 1 is these buffs, so that's good. And skill 3 is basically the same animation but gives healing. 15,000 healing, pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to test this, isn't it? This is the new one. Yeah, it is time stop. It's equivalent to God Heal. It healed for 20,000. 20,499 healing. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, as you can see, it's basically just a God Heal. The same as God Heal. So, that's good. Then you've got Starlight Heal, which we all know what that is. Stardust Heal is better, because Stardust Heal is time stop. Conditional Cure is the new one. Not really much to show, because she's just a supportive unit, but let's see the special then. The special's going to be pretty good. It's not going to do damage, but the supportive buffs it's going to give are going to be pretty crazy. Now she's got 19,000 health, and all these buffs. Boost max HP, cut damage taken limited. Yeah, that was from the healing from her trait 2. Boost defense, cut attribute weakness damage taken, determination. Wait, determination. So, from her special, it's basically just the same as determination skill, but a buff icon instead. That's pretty interesting. When taking lethal damage, surviving once from a slightly restore HP. It's the same, but just a buff. That's interesting. Her defense looks actually pretty good. That's interesting. So, yeah, that's kind of all there is to this unit, honestly. And it may not look impressive, but you have to look at the numbers, and she's a support unit, not a damage dealer. And if you look at all these numbers and everything that she's bringing, like, look at all these buffs. It's crazy. All these buffs that she's got right now to take less damage. This is going to be so ridiculously strong, especially in PvP. I'm a bit worried about Guild versus Guild because she's going to be ridiculously strong. So strong. And people are still using Spirit Maiden Theria. She's still the best unit in the game. So Rena is the first unit in the entire game to rival Spirit Maiden Theria. Let's just kill this guy. Pretty annoying. He's dead now. So, what I want to do next is kind of compare Rena and Spirit Maiden Theria. But there are a few things to note. Number one is Spirit Maiden Theria is a couple years old at this point. So she is going to have lower stats and everything. compared to Rena, which is expected. And Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't have a 6th enhance yet, that should be soon. And Spirit Maiden Theria has been used quite a lot. So let's have a look back at Spirit Maiden Theria. I want to compare Spirit Maiden Theria to Rena right now, just to give you a full idea of how good Rena is. So, let's just look at abilities first. So, they have similar abilities. Skill 1, both of their skill 1s don't really matter. The skill 2 on Spirit Maiden Theria is better, because it is minus 27% damage buff, which is higher than 25% from Rena. And it also heals a basic stats element and gives +1 resistance to it. Rena doesn't do that, so Spirit Maiden Theria's skill 2 is better by a bit, and the healing stats element is actually quite useful. The skill 3 is basically just the same thing on both units. The special is quite a bit different. So, HP cap plus 3000, Rena has plus 10,000 instead of 3000, that's quite a big difference. But what Theria gives is everyone revives and greatly recovers HP and takes physical damage minus 50%. That is situationally better than Rena, but Rena special can be better. It's going to be hard to switch between both of them. I should have a screen up with both of them at the same time, but I don't think I can do that. HP cap, recover HP, get defense, absolute weakness, damage taken, survive lethal damage. So, yeah, Rena doesn't have a revive on her special, so that's one thing to mention. Is Spirit Maiden Theria has a revive on her special, which is good. But if you think about it, it doesn't really matter too much because she has high resurrection anyway, so as long as you're reviving everyone and keeping everyone alive, then you can just use your special, and it's probably going to be a better buff than Spirit Maiden Theria, because yeah, but this is only absolute weakness damage and a 50% defense, but the survived lethal damage, it is more of a unique special compared to Spirit Maiden Theria, honestly. But Spirit Maiden Theria special, 50% less physical damage, pretty crazy. Now the traits is where it gets a lot more interesting, like way more interesting. Rena's traits are completely ridiculous compared to Spirit Maiden Theria's traits. Here's why. Spirit Maiden Theria, incredibly old unit, right? Her trait 1 isn't that great compared to Rena. All allies periodically get faint nil and take minus 20% damage from most numerous enemy types. It's good, it's great. One thing that it gives that Rena doesn't have is faint nil. That's very good. That's something that Spirit Maiden Theria has that Rena doesn't. But that's all this trait 1 gives. If you look at what Rena gives, it's ridiculous if you compare the two traits together, because Rena's trait 1 has way more to it. Everyone takes less damage and less physical damage, and auto cast for Magic Castle 2, boss wave start, less damage from bosses. So you can see Rena's trait 1 definitely way stronger for allowing the team to survive, but it doesn't have anything to help with faint nil. But if you're not worried about fainting and your units already have faint nil or can't faint anyway, then Rena's just going to be the way better option. As you can see, auto cast Magic Castle 2, all of this take less damage is way better than Spirit Maiden Theria's trait 1. Now, if you compare their trait 2s, it's a bit of a different story though. Spirit Maiden Theria's trait 2 is why she is still a ridiculous unit, arguably, and her everything else she's got, but trait 2, cost of 10 plus MP healing magic minus 20%, HP healing cap 3500 when healing an ally with magic skill or special give a barrier. So if I go back to Rena to kind of compare, Rena does have a similar effect with the barrier, it's the same thing, and she does get 20% more healing and 3000 healing cap, so Spirit Maiden Theria does have more healing cap from just a trait, but Rena does have more healing caps from her skills alone in total, so Rena still does have more healing caps. So This trait is very similar to Spirit Maiden Theria's trait too, but what it also gives is you're not getting the healing magic costing less. What you're getting instead is the when an ally is restored by magic / skills, give target a damage taken minus 35% buff. And you also get the shield buff. So the shield is the same, HP recovery and cap are kind of similar. She doesn't have the healing costing less MP, but what she does have instead is an even better buff for your team to take less damage. So arguably it is kind of an improvement of Spirit Maiden Theria's trait too. So just from looking at both of their traits, Rena's traits are better than Spirit Maiden Theria, and you may be thinking that maybe Spirit Maiden Theria's skills is what's going to make her compete against Rena and make her better, which yes and no. Let me just go to skill cost and show what she does give. So God Heal, Rena does have her equivalent to God Heal, which does cost 18 MP I think instead of 21, but it's not a big deal, it's not that much of a difference, they're basically the same. They both have Cure All and Erase and High Resurrection. Now here's where it gets a bit different though. As you know, Spirit Maiden Theria has all of these buffs, all of these magic skills, but Rena doesn't. Grand Protection, Rena doesn't have this. Magic Castle 2, but Rena does have this on her trait 1 or trait 2. Is trait 1? Yeah, her trait 1 has a chance to automatically cast this when an enemy uses magic. So Rena having it on her in her trait instead of a casting skill is okay. Now what Theria has obviously is all of these. Rena doesn't have all of them, but she does have 2 of them. Thunder Wall and something else. She got 2 of these walls. But if you're really looking at it, Rena does have the most important things that a supportive unit needs. And you could just put on Grand Protection on Rena anyways, but even if you don't, if you look at units' kits, a lot of them already have protection on. Even if they don't, you can just put on fast protection or auto protection instead or something, or fast high protection, and you won't need grand protection. So grand protection isn't really as useful as you think. It's not that great because we have options to get protection on already on units as a buff. So don't really need to worry about that. But these walls are definitely important. These do help a lot. But one thing you've got to think about though is, yes, Spirit Maiden Theria has all of those walls, but what she doesn't have is the ridiculous trait 1 to take all of this damage, take less damage like this, like Rena. So just by being in the team, Rena is going to perform better, because regularly give all allies a damage taken minus 35% and physical damage taken minus 35% buff by itself can already compete to those walls that Spirit Maiden Theria has, and her trait 1 isn't that good. Spirit Maiden Theria's trait 1 isn't that good compared to Rena's buffs. So Rena doesn't have all the walls, but she does have more buffs. So overall, her buffs in her traits and everything do work out to be better than Spirit Maiden Theria's buffs. And she does have Thunder and Holy Wall. So that's kind of the main comparisons I wanted to do, is the traits and the magic skills, but let's just have a look at the skills in general as well, just to see. But most of these aren't really a big deal. Some of these are similar. Both units have some of these skills, like Auto Heal, both of them have it, and High Level Magic Chant and stuff. But Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't really have many passive skills, as you can see. She does have a few of these, like that's good when reviving, less cost of magic buffs. Here, what Rena doesn't have is healing boost and high boost. That's kind of all I can really think about. And these. If I go back to Rena, she does have some equivalents to it. In her skills, she does actually have better skills, better passives than Spirit Maiden Theria, which makes sense because Spirit Maiden Theria is a few years old at this point, and Rena is a complete new unit, so she's going to be having better passives. So yes, she's got all of these stat up skills which are going to help a lot more on Matisse. Some of these skills down here are pretty similar or the same as Spirit Maiden Theria. Recast Heal, all of these are the same. She has Holy Enhance, which Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't. She doesn't have any healing boost and high boost, but you can just put them on Rena already. That'll be fine. And then Movable Object, Maglion Shield, Beast Repellent, Closed Mega Boost, all of this stuff, Determination, these things Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't have. Spirit Force, all of these unique skills here, Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't have these. That's pretty similar. That's pretty great. And obviously these down here, Spirit Maiden Theria doesn't have a 6th Enhance yet, so she might have similar skills here, but yeah, as you can see, Rena does actually perform on paper better than Spirit Maiden Theria, because just from looking at both of their skills, their kits and traits properly, you can now have a proper look and can realize how good Rena is compared to Spirit Maiden Theria. And Spirit Maiden Theria is still the best support unit in the game, which means she's best unit in the game. So Rena definitely going to be a unit you're going to want because she's going to be better than Spirit Maiden Theria. And I haven't really talked to anyone about it, but I know, and I know for a fact from looking at the numbers and the kit that Rena's going to be better. But it doesn't mean that Spirit Maiden Theria is getting power crept by any means, because Spirit Maiden Theria still has a few things that Rena doesn't. Like Faint Nil, Rena doesn't have that, and obviously all these walls and stuff, and definitely useful, and her skill 2 for stats elements, and her special for the less physical damage. Rena doesn't have those things, but Rena makes up for it by having other damage mitigation skills. So yeah, they're pretty similar units, honestly, but Rena, right now, is just a better unit for allowing your team to take less damage. And if that's all you care about, then Rena's going to be way better than Spirit Maiden Theria, which now makes Rena the best unit in the game. Wow, that was a lot of talking, but you get the idea, right? Comparing Rena to Spirit Maiden Theria, they are both top tier units. Spirit Maiden Theria was the best unit in the game for years. She was rated like 9.6 on the tier list and stayed there as the best unit. But now Rena is probably going to overtake Spirit Maiden Theria, or at least be the same level. But I would say definitely Rena should at least rate one higher than Spirit Maiden Theria, just because Rena she's bringing more to the table than Spirit Maiden Theria. So that's all I've got to say about those two units and how good Rena is. Hopefully you can see how good Rena is. If you don't, there's something wrong with you. It really is. And you should be pulling for Rena right now and getting Rena as soon as possible, because she's going to be probably the best unit in the game for a long time. And since she's a support unit, we don't get many, so you don't want to miss out on this unit. This collab may not come back. You definitely want to get Rena. She's so good. And that's basically where I'm at with Rena. Amazing unit. She's definitely going to be the one that you want out of all of these banners. While we're here, I might as well talk about the order or what banners you should be pulling on. If you've been waiting for part 4, like I've been saving for part 4 most of my medals and everything, then this is the point where you're going to be trying to decide which banners you want to pull on. Well, first thing first is, no question asked, you get Rena, and that's the first priority for everyone in this game, is you get Rena right now. As soon as you get Rena, then let's talk about the options. So once you've got Rena, there are 3 other banners. You've got Claude with his arc, and you've also got Freya with her arc, and then you've got Lenneth Valkyrie with her arc. It's a tough call, but honestly, I would probably recommend the Part 1 banner as your second choice. So after you've got Rena, if you have literally nothing else from this collab and just Rena, then I'd probably recommend the Lenneth Valkyrie banner, just because the arc on this banner is pretty good too, and it's probably the best arc from this collab, because the resist damage skill is going to be pretty useful. It's got a decent trait too, so, and Lenneth Valkyrie can be a good supportive tank DPS unit. She's pretty great, so I think Part 1 banner would probably be my second choice. But it does get a bit more complicated, because if you don't have any mage units at all on your account, then I would rather you pull for Freya instead of Lenneth Valkyrie, because if you don't have any mage at all, Freya's going to benefit your account way more than Lenneth Valkyrie, because having at least one good mage is incredibly important, because mages, there are some contents or some stages that do require mages and they just help. If you have at least one mage, then it helps a lot. Or if Linus is your only mage, then it becomes a bit complicated, but mages aren't very common, so that's why I rate Freya pretty highly. And that's kind of where I'm at. Now, I haven't really talked about Claude, because he's great. I'm not going to be saying he's the worst unit from this collab, because he's not. None of these units are bad. This is a collab where every single unit in this collab is good, so if you pull on any banner, you're not going to go wrong. But where you're going to go wrong is if you don't pull on this banner for Rena, because Rena, you have to get. It's not an argument. You get Rena first, and then after that you decide what you want to do. So I say, out of these three banners, you look at your account and see what you need. If you feel like you don't need a mage, then you probably don't need Freya, but it depends if you like Freya, if you think she's going to be fun, if you think she's going to benefit your account the most over the other banners, because Lenneth Valkyrie banner, I think, has good value. Claude's banner, I think, is good, because Claude's going to be a very good PvP unit, probably the best PvP unit out of all of these banners, so if you care about PvP the most, then Claude's going to be a good option for you. So, as you can see, it's kind of difficult, because all of these units, all of these banners are actually pretty good. But the same thing for everyone, though, is you get Rena first, and then you decide from these three banners what you want to do. So, that's kind of my opinion on all of these banners and what you should be pulling on, but again, I can't really tell you what you should be pulling on apart from Rena, because it's going to be up to your account, and I can't say for sure what your account's going to have, because everyone's account's different, and it's a different story of what you want and what you need. So you get Rena first, and then the other three banners, you look at your account and decide what you need, and take my information, and maybe that'll help you decide. And that's kind of all I have to say about that. So hopefully, if you do start planning to do your summons very soon, then hopefully you can get Rena as soon as possible, because she is going to be a game changer for everyone's account. If you already got Spirit Maiden Theria, which most people do, then it's not going to be as much of a game changer, but it's still going to be quite a big difference, honestly. And she does allow for more team options, like in Guild vs Guild, you can now put on Spirit Maiden Theria on your defense somewhere, and have Rena on your attacking team. So now you have two top tier supportive units in the game available to use in more content. So that's a great thing to think about. That's everything about these collab banners that I want to talk about. I think I've made my point with these banners, and I don't think I need to talk about these banners anymore. So these banners are gone for me. I don't need to worry about these banners anymore. Don't need to talk about them anymore, because I've gotten everything from these banners. I've talked about everything that I need to. So if you have any questions, then be sure to let me know. But I think I've done a good job explaining that. Anything else that I need to talk about? Well, let's I guess let's talk a bit more about the event now, because it's difficult to showcase Rena. I can't really showcase Rena more than I have, so we're not going to be showcasing her anymore. I've just been talking about how good Rena is and comparing her to Spirit Maiden Theria, so it's been more of a talk over Rena instead of a showcase. So that's kind of the difference with this supportive unit. I do want to try Claude in Arena, so I'm going to be doing that now before I forget that later, and then afterwards we'll be looking at the event. So I've been using this team for Claude. I might as well show my build, because I should be showing my build because it gives you a better idea of what I've been using on him. So he's pretty much fully built, I think. Just need to level him up some more and probably learn more skills. But equipment, I've got both of his paids. I did that last time, I think. They're very good. And I'm using him as single wield because he gets pretty tanky. His skills, let's just go default, set only. He's built for mostly damage right now. I haven't tried him as a full tank yet, just because I don't think it's a good idea. It could work, but I haven't done it yet because I just wanted him to be a DPS unit. So this is what I'm using as a DPS slash hybrid tank, but he's mostly going to be a damage dealer. Piercing, shockwave, mostly single wield damage type skills that you would normally put on a unit, skill charge skills, all the normal stuff. Most of these skills I put on one of my DPS units in Arena because they're just that good. So yeah, let's try them out now. Pretty good stats. So we're going to be doing a few battles here and just trying them out on auto and seeing how this team performs against some of these teams. So I have him set to use his skill 1 on auto. Reason being, his skill 1 is long range. Let's just see what he's been doing. So skill 1 is long range. I think it's pretty good. He just stays far back and spams his skill 1. Once he runs out of his skill 1, then he starts using his skill 2 and 3, which do a lot as well. Now he's ran out. Skill 2 did very well. Skill 1's killing everyone. I do like his skill 1 quite a bit, honestly. One of his skills are actually pretty strong. There we go. They're all dead. Claude did actually finish off all of those. Pretty good. Now let's see how much damage he did in this team, because usually it's just Summer Sarah that does most of the damage, right? Well, as you can see, he does a lot of damage, honestly. He's pretty good. He's definitely going to be what he is, a top PvP unit. Definitely not the best. Summer Sarah way better. Prefect of Godmere probably better, but he plays a different role because he can be a tank and do quite a bit of damage at the same time, so he can play a different role to those units that I mentioned. But he's going to be a great PvP unit. He does good damage. He did great damage there. Let's do a few more. I will go up against a tank team just to see how it performs there, but it's not that crazy against a tank team, honestly. Who have I been doing on auto recently? This one's a tank team that I could show. So since he can't flinch from soldier and knight types, anyone using magic on a soldier or a knight, he won't get flinch from that magic, which I find very useful. It's going to be incredibly useful. So let's see how this performs. This may take quite a while because there's going to be a lot of healing and stuff going on, but I'm going to keep this on auto and just see how this performs. Maybe it'll go to the time limit. I'm willing to wait. I wish there was a ×2 speed option, but there isn't. It's fine. He did kill Gorm, which is impressive. Gorm isn't that tanky anymore, honestly, because we've got such good DPS units now. So if you remember, Claude does have a lot of human slayer type skills, so it does very well against human enemies. He's doing a lot of damage, does pretty well against Granadas, since he should have fire weakness. That did pretty well. Did kill Jian, that was great. Obviously guarding, always going to be annoying. It kind of ran out of skills now. It's going to be a waiting game, I think, at this point. I can wait. I don't want to, but I just want to see how much damage we're doing. By the end of this, is it going to be Summer Sarah or Claude that's going to be doing more damage? Don't know. They both do good damage, honestly, so can't go wrong. This team, actually pretty strong. Shield render team. But I am strongly considering changing my team to a spell render team and putting in Rena as the supportive unit instead of Spirit Maiden Theria. So then I can have Rena as a super support unit and then a tank like Granadus or Murren or Jian. Rena plus Jian is going to be amazing. And then a mage plus a physical DPS. Sounds like a good team to me. May consider something like that. Yeah, this is going to take some time. But as expected, since, yeah, tank teams are going to be pretty difficult to kill, but I did manage to kill those. That was okay. There we go, we are killing some of those units now. Probably because some of those buffs that they had wore off, maybe. I haven't been able to target Sarah. There we go. They're all dead now. Claude did finish him off with a skill 1. Very nice. How much damage did he do? It seems like, I was watching it, it looks like he did quite a lot. He did a lot of the work there. I don't know how much Summer Sarah did though. That's pretty good. So he did more than Summer Sarah in that scenario, in that battle. It's actually pretty strong. So one thing I haven't shown yet is the arc I'm using on Claude is a UR arc. But this arc is definitely the best option for Claude, because it gives 25% damage and also another 30% damage if the target's remaining HP is higher than the units. And at the start of battle restores 1 SAT stock for 1 skill, basically just equivalent to another quick trigger, which is very good in Arena. And continuous high protection is amazing for Claude because he doesn't have protection. So continuous high protection is going to be amazing for him. Going to be very useful. So let's do a few more battles just so you can get a better idea. Who have I been doing on auto recently? I could probably auto some of these teams, but I haven't tried every team, every defense team, because there are a lot of them. Let's do a few more of these and then we'll get into the event and just have a look at what the event is bringing and then kind of finish it off soon, I think. I did try using his skill 3 on auto, but I think his skill 1 is just a bit more reliable because it means he stays far back. Once he runs out of his skill 1, he's going to be using his skill 2 and 3 anyways. They're all dead already. Honestly, this team's pretty strong. Claude actually does a lot of damage. I can see him being amazing in Guild versus Guild, 100%. It's going to be great. I'll do a few more. I know this arena season's going to be running out or ending soon, so that's nice. Who else is going to be bait for Claude? I don't think he does that much damage against Murren. Yeah, he doesn't really. He does okay damage against Murren, but not really. I think it's mostly Summer Sarah that does the damage against Murren, because Murren is a machine type, so Claude won't do well against Murren. That's just the one thing to think about. Yeah. Okay. Well, they're dead now, it's fine. Good stuff. This team has been pretty fun to me. I have tried a few teams, but this team just seems like it performs the best for me. I did get Claude to reach 70,000. Actually, I think he hit 81,499 one time. I don't remember when and who against, but there was someone that he managed to hit damage cap against, which was pretty funny. We'll do a few more. I still find Arena fun to me. They're dying quite easily. It's funny. Now you've got your immunity to physical damage for 7 seconds. Yeah, well, you're dead anyway. It is surprising how many PvP units we have been getting recently. Yeah, that damage cap was Sarah. Lenneth and Claude are both amazing in Arena. I think Claude is definitely a better PvP unit than Lenneth Valkyrie, but they're both strong. That's a weird team, but I'll try. Claude and Rena, but they're only level 100, so I don't expect much from them. I have fought against a few Claudes in Arena, and they have been pretty tanky, honestly. Okay. Yeah, obviously everyone's gonna die. Great. I could take it off auto, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna show you what happens, because I don't care about winning. It doesn't even matter. I think the only reason is the blizzard problem. Yes. I'm gonna guess most of that damage was from Summer Sarah, wasn't it? Yes. Basically just Sarah carry. That's it. That's what I thought. I'll do a few more. Probably one more tank team or something. I'll do like 2 more. And then I'll go over to the event in a minute, because I haven't done much of that. Okay. It's pretty good. His skill 1 does travel pretty slowly. Gotta remember that. But it can be a good thing, because if someone just revives on their team, and he uses a skill 1 instantly, then by the time it travels towards the enemy, it will probably... their immunity will probably go away, and the skill 1 should hit them. I've seen that happen a few times, it's been pretty funny. They revive and then just instantly die from his skill 1. It's pretty great. He did good damage that time. I'll try and find another tank team just to see how he does. Fine. But he doesn't do very well against Murren. I think that's the only tank that he doesn't do well against. Okay. This may take a while again, but this will be the last battle for now. Once he start using his skill 3 and 2, they should be doing a lot. Yeah. That's pretty good. Jan's dead now. Great. His skill 3 killed that. I saw that. His skill 1 can snipe someone sometimes, because it's got piercing, I do like those piercing skills. Killed Jian again. That was great. People that don't have Jian's paid clothes definitely gonna die quite easily. Okay. Use a skill 3 and just kill them all now. Nice. Jan's dead again. Seems to be dying a lot. That's funny. Yeah, that's all I needed. Right. Yeah, it's just a blizzard on Murren, because Murren is a machine, so everyone's gonna get flinched from that, but it's whatever. That was good. That skill 2 killed all of those. Pretty nice. Then we're almost done. You kill him 2 more times, then it's gonna be an easy win. It's gonna be a win anyway, but how long? I just skill 3. I'll just wait. It's always a waiting game with this. Damage numbers are gonna look funny after this. Definitely. Gonna look great. You could have Rena plus Spirit Maiden Theria in the same team, and it would be pretty funny. That'd be great. How much damage did everyone do this time? I wanna see. Okay. He still did pretty good damage, honestly. I know Summer Sarah is strong, and she does most of the damage, but he's still pretty good against a tank team. It's not bad against a tank team, honestly. It's pretty good, and he's single wield as well. So, as you can see, he does perform pretty well in Arena. Like I said in the last stream, most of his kit is aimed towards human type enemies, and that does make him mostly aimed towards PvP and Arena. So it is expected that he's going to perform very well in Arena, and he has been. Some people have been using him, he's pretty good. So that kind of covers everything, but there are a few more things that I wanted to have a look at quickly, like the event mostly. Hey, we can get some more crystals here. Very nice. I don't know why I always forget about this. I don't know. So the event, receive all, a lot of free stuff. Love it. Free stuff is always great. Orb recoveries, I've got so many orb recoveries. Way too many. Souls are useful. Ultra clusters are always great. Nice. The prism is in the mission rewards. And then a lot of orb recoveries. Great. Then all that stuff. So let's go in the event now. Just have a look at this event, because there have been a few changes to it. So there is a maze, right? There's a maze going on right now, which is interesting. I personally haven't pushed too hard in this yet, but some people will. I'm not going to be pushing incredibly hard. This event does go on for 2 weeks, so got some time. I think my plan for this is just to go for like top 30 or something, because the rewards, I don't really care about the rewards, honestly. I don't really need any of the rewards, so I'm not a competitive person. I won't be ranking up here, but I will be trying over the next 2 weeks and seeing where I go, which should be, I'm hoping, in the top 30 if I spend a lot of time on it. Maybe top 10, but I'm not really fussed about it. But I think it's fun. It's a fun maze. Not really going to properly show my teams because I'm still working on it, but it's interesting. And most of the event stages in this update are in this place, the dimension entrance. If you go in here, there are a lot of these bosses. I was hoping there would be a bunny in here, but it's not going to be, is there? Basically right now, yeah, we have this at 100%, which means we've unlocked the next stage. Stages. So getting that to 100% unlocked these 4, and then we've got to get those to 100% to unlock these ones. And then eventually Sheeta will unlock next week. So interesting. And if you go to rewards down here, there's a lot of stuff in here. You get 10 of these God Relic Prisms shards, 1 of Rena Prisms. Amazing. All these rewards are actually pretty good. I like these rewards, and I'm looking forward to the final rewards as well. I just really like God Relic Prism shards. God Relic Prisms are just amazing. I like saving them. I've got enough for a plus 30 unit, but I might use some on Rena. Probably will. So I don't think there's any more tour stages. No. Okay. Fine. That's basically the event. Don't really need to talk too much about it, but this update to the event did get a bit more interesting since there is a competitive maze event, which is a new type of event they're doing, so I think that's quite fun. I personally go for just personal goals and not worry about competitive rankings. Okay. There are more unit prisms in here. This is gonna take a while. Actually, I can just get them now. These are pretty good. There's a Lenneth Valkyrie prism. Love it. There we go. Then I got 12 more for Claude's prism, and then I need to get more of those materials somewhere, which I haven't properly looked at where you get them yet, so I don't know, but I think I got some from event rewards and things, probably. Next stage is Rena, yeah. Interesting. Well, this is pretty good. I think that's everything for that. I think this event, pretty good. It did improve with this latest update, and I do like that they have been adding to the same event every week, because it does feel like there's been a lot more to do in this game, especially with a banner each week and a new update to the event each week. I think people have been liking this, what I've heard, and people are probably going to be getting used to a new banner every week, but from now on, it's going to be back to a new unit banner every 2 weeks, which is the normal thing that we're used to, so maybe a bit weird to get back into, but it's fine. 2 weeks, in my opinion, is actually better because it gives you more time to save and not worry about banners too much. Some people may hate the fact that there's a new banner every week. I understand that a lot because free-to-play players can't pull on all of these banners. There's no way. Unless you have saved a lot up to this point, which if you have, then you should be able to get enough for 200 medals or something, to pity something. So, pretty sure that's everything that I wanted to talk about. So, I guess I'll end the stream in a minute because I'm pretty sure I've covered everything that I wanted to. Talked about Rena and all the banners, everything. Yeah. Seems good, I think. So, my conclusion for this collab event has been pretty fun, honestly. I think this collab, I hope they do more stuff like this, because a collab, a banner every week, and having a pity that transfers over each banner is just a very good change to me, and I hope they do more of that in the future. The event, honestly, pretty fun, and the new type of time trial like maze event, pretty fun. I'm hoping they do more things like that, because stuff like that, new things, pretty fun, and you get to use different types of teams and use your units and arcs that you have on your account. I do like those types of things. The banners I talked about earlier, so I'm not going to talk too much about them again, but they are pretty good. Everything in these banners are good. I like what they've done here. It's just some people are not happy because they are free to play and they can't get everything, but as long as you've been smart with your crystals and have been saving up until part 4, you should be fine, because all you need from this collab is Rena. As long as you get her, then everything else you don't really need to worry about too much, because Rena's just the main thing, the most important thing from this collab. So yes, these other units are great, the arcs are great too, but they're not anything game-changing apart from Rena. Maybe you got lucky and got something from tickets. That's great. I didn't get anything from tickets. I did a lot saving and preparing for this collab. The good thing about this collab, in my opinion, the login bonuses giving a lot of crystals, and the tickets, I like that a lot. That definitely does help a bit for free-to-play players, save up some crystals, do some more pulls. And it did say in total, everyone should have been able to do at least 100 summons with the tickets and crystals they've been giving out, so that's good. So, I think that's everything. I've been enjoying this collab. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed this collab, because I think this collab has definitely been a very good one, in my opinion. It brings a lot of good units to the table. Arcs, not really anything special with the arcs, but there are good things, few things with the arcs, so they're not terrible. I think this collab definitely very fun to me, and I hope they do more collabs like this. My expectations, or what I think the next collab's going to be, is probably going to be a rerun, because the previous collabs that we've had have all been new collabs, so I'm expecting a rerun at some point, and I'm hoping that it's like Dr. Stone or Nier or ReZero or something, because those are the 3 that I kind of want reruns of, but we're just going to have to wait and see. I think the next banner in 2 weeks from now is probably going to be a DOH unit or something. I haven't really thought about it because there's been a collab going on, so people haven't really been thinking about what's coming up, and I haven't been thinking about it either, but just have to wait and see. Have fun with this collab while it's here, because there's only 2 weeks left of this collab and then it's going to disappear, so make sure you get as much as you can, but don't waste your crystals. Still be smart with your crystals. It's very important, especially in a game like this, where crystals are difficult to get, and there's always new units being released, so keeping up to date and being smart where you spend your crystals is always very important. And this is one of those times where you should be getting Rena, because she's one of those top tier units that aren't going to come out for a very long time. She may not even come back, so quite important. So yeah, I think that's everything. There are a few things in the news, like I know there's a few units getting 6th Enhance, as well as Granadus has his paid equipment Squadforge available now, and a few other units, but honestly they're not super interesting for me to want to mention them, so you can check those out if you want to. But basically just a few more units having Godforge paid equipments if you care about those. Some of those are good, especially Granadus could be good. I think Heroic Lord Roland has paid equipment, so that might be the shift version, that may be good, but nothing that crazy. So that's basically it, everything covered for this whole collab and the stream. So I guess I will see everyone in 2 weeks. It's going to be disappointing, a bit sad that I can't do another stream next Thursday because there's not going to be another banner. I only ever stream when there's a new banner to cover because otherwise there isn't really too much to talk about. So I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks. It has been fun, this collab. Honestly, I've been enjoying doing these streams every Thursday. I wish I could do them every Thursday because I do have the time for it at the moment. Maybe in the future I won't, but right now it's been pretty fun, so yeah. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this collab and keep enjoying it because there's 2 more weeks left. Hopefully get everything you want, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully. By that time, we would know what the unit is and everything, but right now I'm not going to worry about it. We'll wait and see, but just to let you know, Rena, something you should not be skipping, so yeah. I'll see you next Thursday. Well, in 2 weeks on that Thursday. Bye.